Breaking news. The Las Vegas Raiders just sent a loud message to the rest of the NFL, and it's coming straight from the heart of mandatory minicamp. While big-name players across the league are sitting out, some of the Raiders' top stars are doing the exact opposite, and it's turning heads. But before we dive into what's happening in Vegas right now, take a second, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss the biggest Raiders updates. You're not going to want to miss what's next. Now, let's get into the news that's shaking Raider Nation. At a time when players across the NFL are skipping mandatory minicamps to demand bigger contracts, the Raiders are showing a different kind of leadership. Offensive tackle Kolton Miller and wide receiver Jakobi Meyers showed up, suited up, and set the tone. Miller, who's in the conversation for a new deal, told the media he wants to be a Raider for life. But instead of holding out, he showed up, focused and ready to work. Same with Meyers. And that speaks volumes. In a league where stars like T.J. Watt and Terry McLaurin are sitting out, Miller and Meyers are leading by example. They're not just playing football, they're building something in Vegas, something real. This kind of commitment sends a powerful message, not just to the fans but to every rookie, every vet, and everyone watching the silver and black. What we saw today from the Las Vegas Raiders wasn't just a practice, it was a statement. Nearly every player on the roster showed up and locked in. In fact, outside of one exception, it was 100% participation at minicamp. That's rare. That's powerful. And that's exactly what this team needs if it wants to turn the corner. The only player not on the field? Christian Wilkins. And while his absence might raise a few eyebrows, there's no real surprise here. He's still recovering from a Jones fracture, and the expectation is that he'll be back by training camp. Until then, it gives the coaching staff time to work on depth, and gives Wilkins the space he needs to get right. One player who did return, and made his presence known, was Adam Butler. He missed the final 2 OTA practices, but today he was back. With Wilkins sidelined, Butler becomes a key piece of that defensive front. He's now the likely number 2 at defensive tackle, and his return brings both skill and stability to a crucial position. But beyond individual names, here's what really matters. This entire Raiders squad is showing up. They're not waiting for things to fall into place. They're out there making it happen. Voluntary, mandatory, it doesn't seem to matter. This group is building something with urgency, with purpose, and with unity. And that's not just good news. It's the kind of energy that Raider Nation has been waiting for. There are moments in football that stay with you forever. And for Raiders fans, those moments are carved deep into the soul of Raider Nation. Think back to that unforgettable night, the final regular season game, the clock winding down, tension so thick you could feel it through the screen. And then, time out. Derek Carr commands the field, and the Raiders walk off with a win that sends them to the playoffs. That wasn't just a game, it was a war, and the silver and black came out on top. The kind of pride fans felt that night. That's the heartbeat of this team. That fire, that resilience, that's what this current squad is starting to show again. Let's bring it back to now. Mandatory minicamp is heating up in Las Vegas, and today's session gave us another glimpse into how this team is being shaped. No full contact yet, but the intensity. Off the charts. There were 11-on-11 drills, 7-on-7 matchups, and both sides of the ball weren't holding back. Coaches Antonio Pierce and Patrick Graham were deep in the action, pushing every player to compete like it's Sunday. It felt less like a practice, and more like a message to the league. The Raiders are not here to play catch-up. They're here to dominate. More minicamp notes are coming up, but what's already clear is this. The silver and black are laying the groundwork for something real. And every snap, every rep, is starting to feel like the beginning of a new era. Let's get back to what really matters, football, and what's unfolding right now in Raiders minicamp. One standout from today's session, the linebacker unit. Word from inside camp is that the group was absolutely flying. High energy, sharp reads, fast reactions. From sideline to sideline, these guys were moving like a pack on a mission. And you can't help but wonder, Is the noise around potential roster additions lighting a fire under this group? Rumors have been swirling lately about outside names possibly being brought in. That kind of talk can shake a room, or it can strengthen it. Judging by today's performance, this group is responding the right way, with hustle and heart. But it wasn't all clean execution today. Reports out of camp suggest the offense struggled in the red zone. Early in practice, during offense versus defense reps, it was clear. The defense came to dominate, especially near the goal line. And while that might seem like a concern, it's actually the kind of challenge this young offense needs. This is what minicamp is for, figuring out the cracks before they become problems in real games. It's still early, but the competition is already real, and you can feel the urgency building inside the Raiders' facility. The defense is setting the tone, and the offense is getting pushed to rise to the challenge. Let's be honest, red zone efficiency has haunted the Raiders for years. They can move the ball, no doubt, but when it's time to punch it in, drive after drive often stalls. And once again, that trend showed up at minicamp today. In red zone drills, the defense came out on top, and deservedly so. Patrick Graham's unit is moving with confidence, and it's becoming clear this defense has something brewing. The defensive line, led by the relentless Max Crosby, brought the fire. Add in a linebacker group flying to the ball, and it's no surprise the offense struggled to break through. But perhaps the most exciting development is in the secondary. One name keeps popping up: Jeremy Chinn. His versatility is exactly what the Raiders have been missing. One snap he's a safety, the next he's a linebacker. Wherever the play is, Chinn is already there. He's not just filling a role, he's setting a tone. Physical, smart, aggressive, a real throwback to the kind of player Raider Nation respects. There's a reason he's drawing comparisons to names like Cam Chancellor. This isn't hype, he's earning that spotlight. Still, don't count the offense out. Toward the end of today's session, they finally started to find some rhythm. And that's important. It shows they're adjusting, adapting, learning how to work together. The defense may have the edge in familiarity, especially under Graham's system, but this offense is full of talent. Once it clicks, expect fireworks. Bottom line? The intensity is rising on both sides of the ball, and this team is being shaped in the heat of competition. When Kolton Miller calls something dynamic, you pay attention. That's exactly how he described the Raiders' offense at minicamp, and he's not wrong. New concepts, fresh looks, creative alignments. Chip Kelly isn't holding anything back. Yes, the defense won the day, no question. But by the end of practice, the offense started to find its footing, and that shift was important. What began as a dominant day for the defense turned into a battle, and that's exactly what you want to see. Competition pushing both sides forward. But here's what's really turning heads: the rookies. If you haven't been paying attention to Dante Thornton Jr., now's the time to lock in. Word from practice is that he torched 2 defenders on a deep route. Crisp release, explosive burst, and a smooth touchdown grab. He's not just getting noticed, he's earning reps with the first-team offense, and that comparison some have made, linking him to Max Crosby's early rise. It doesn't sound crazy anymore. You can feel it. This kid might be different. Another name drawing praise is Jack Beck. He snagged a beautiful touchdown from Aiden O'Connell, giving the offense a spark right when it needed it. Beck is getting action with both the starters and backups, but the bigger story is the brewing competition. If Thornton keeps rising, someone else could see a drop in reps. That's the nature of camp. You earn your spot every day. Special teams also came into the spotlight, with Coach Tom McMahon speaking about the expectations for speed and instinct. He emphasized that while he can coach technique, speed is non-negotiable. He praised Darren Porter, a player with a staggering 999 special team snaps in college, clearly someone the staff views as a glue guy. And yes, Daniel Carlson spoke briefly. Always calm, always reliable. He didn't say much, but let's face it, when you're one of the league's best kickers, you let your leg do the talking. There's a different energy in the Raiders' locker room, and you can feel it from the veterans just as much as the rookies. Kolton Miller, one of the team's most respected voices, spoke with the media and made one thing crystal clear. He wants to be a Raider for life. The towering left tackle, one of the few remaining links to the Oakland era, understands the weight of leadership. With Max Crosby, A.J. Cole, and Daniel Carlson also among that small group of final Oakland Raiders, Miller knows what it means to carry the legacy forward. He wasn't just reflecting on the past, he also praised the rookie class and emphasized how different this year feels. It's a culture shift. Pete Carroll has instilled intensity competition and clarity, and the vets, they're all in. Jakorian Bennett also opened up, offering a look behind the curtain. This will be his third year and his third different head coach. That kind of turnover tests a player, but Bennett says he feels better than ever. For the first time since college, both of his shoulders are finally healthy. He even revealed how he used to play through games with his shoulder popping out multiple times. That grit, that's Raider football. He didn't stop there. When asked about speed in the defensive backfield, Bennett didn't hesitate. "I'm still the fastest corner on this team." And, honestly, that's the kind of swagger the Raiders need. As the AFC West arms race heats up, one thing is clear. Teams aren't trying to outgun the Chiefs anymore. They're trying to out-physical them. The Raiders, Chargers, and Broncos have all shifted their identity, leaning into the kind of ground-and-pound, control-the-clock approach that gave Kansas City fits last season. Las Vegas knows the path to beating elite teams like the Chiefs isn't about flash. It's about grit, toughness, and dominance at the line of scrimmage. And if this team keeps building on that identity, they're going to make a lot of noise.